Lady Doctor's first love story. After becoming a doctor, the wait for the marriage began. But my mother and father did not like any marriage proposal. So age gradually began to decline. Then one day when I came back from the hospital, I saw a young man parked his bike in front of our house, as if waiting for someone. Then, as usual, I would see him on the bike on the way back every day. Because our home was in the most expensive part of town, bikes were rarely seen. The young man, though poor, looked very handsome. He would often sit with his head down, watching only for a moment as I passed by and entered the house. But who is he? And what does he want? Although at first I was confused to see him like this, but at the same time I was happy in my heart that there is someone waiting for me. Then whenever I saw him sitting on the bike, my heart would start pounding. Oh my God, what is this? Am I in love with him? As a young man, my only wish was to get married before I was old enough to get rid of all sorts of things like relatives and neighbors' sarcasm. It is true that the young man's old bike showed his poverty, but no matter, he is moral, as it turns out. As the days passed, I began to believe that the young man loved me. Then he comes to see me before I come and stands for hours after I go home. But why doesn't he ask my father for my engagement? Is he afraid that my father will reject him, that he is not of our status? But it doesn't matter, wealth is the blessing of Allah. If his bike is old today, then maybe his days will change tomorrow. If he loves me, as his long wait shows, then the difference in status is not a problem. I accept him even in poverty. It has been more or less a month now, but no action has been taken by the young man. I couldn't wait any longer. Why doesn't he talk to me? Why doesn't he knock on my door and ask my father for my relationship? Finally one day I dared myself and went to him. My heart started pounding. The first time I saw him up close, he wasn't very pretty, but never mind. He was sitting on the bike with his head down and his hands on his lap in his usual manner. He was a little shocked to see me and raised his head. I asked why you stand in front of our house for hours. He simply replied, "Sister, because your Wi-Fi doesn't have a password."